People, it is the 2nd of March. Welcome to Newspaper Breakdown. There's only three stories today for a number of reasons. One, because one of them is very long, and the other reason is I was gigging yesterday, it was lots of fun, and I'm very low energy, so I couldn't be fucked to write and research multiple news stories, really. So we'll start with Matt Hancock's leaked WhatsApp messages. Firstly, Matt Hancock handed over more than 100,000 WhatsApp messages to journalist, bigot and peddler of false information Isabel Oakeshott, hoping that she would help him write his memoirs of a wanker. Instead, she gave all of them to the Telegraph. One of the reasons she did this is she is massively anti-lockdown, which was one of the major things that Matt Hancock was involved in. So along with the Telegraph, they're going to be bringing out a number of stories on how bad the lockdown was as a way to continue to push their bullshit. They're the type of anti-lockdown people who believe that lockdown was the first step to fascism instead of a safety precaution to stop people from dying. You can, however, see why 150 plus thousand people died from COVID when you had Matt Hancock and his brilliant brain making all of these fucking decisions. Politicians and journalists have both been amazed that Hancock was dumb enough to trust Oakeshott, who not only, as I say, was a lockdown skeptic, but also has been accused of having a poor track record when it comes to source protection, and is in a relationship with Richard Tice, who is the leader of the anti-lockdown Reform Party. It continues how the hell Matt Hancock can be surprised by this, what went through his mind that she would be the person to fucking help him. Oakeshott gave all of the messages to the Telegraph despite being paid handsomely by Murdoch to be a pundit on Talk TV, of course, which is doing shite, quite right too. Which means that she didn't give it to the Times or the Sun under Murdoch. She fucking beautiful work. She claimed that she leaked the messages because she believed that that she had a moral obligation, which is surprising because I've never seen anything that suggests that she owns any morals. Now to the actual messages. The key claim is that Chris Whitty told Hancock in April 2020 that there should be testing for all going into care homes. And around this time, we were constantly being told that we've put a protective net over care homes. That was a lie. The messages have suggested that Matt Hancock ignored the advice. Another claim was during September 2020 when there was a huge backlog in testing. One of Hancock's advisors helped to get a test sent to Jacob Rees-Mogg's home because they're just better than you and they deserve things that you do not. And that's how they fucking think anyway. There's many other examples of this government drowning in their own incompetence during the in the message leaks, but I'm not going to go through fucking everything, This newspaper breakdown isn't a whole thing of all of the news. You still should go and look at some shit yourself. Don't get all of your news from me. Christ on a bike, you'll never smile again. Helen Whatley, the care minister, has dismissed claims against Hancock, against the claims that Hancock ignored scientific advice, and also accused MPs of political games, because that's how they see 150,000 plus dead and you looking for some actual answers. It's all political games to them. That's it. There's no compassion, there's no care. And I know that we keep on being told that politicians are human beings, and I want to believe it, but I keep on seeing them, and the severe lack of anything that resembles shame or compassion or a human fucking feeling seems to have completely disappeared from them. And so it's such a struggle every day to see these people as sentient, compassionate beings, because I don't think they are. The government is now battling to maintain confidence in the COVID inquiry that's going on, which is fun. It's enjoyable to watch, considering that one of the reasons that the COVID inquiry isn't going full steam ahead at the moment is because the government is purposefully not giving documents that have been requested. So the government are the ones who are holding it back. But they want, we're doing it, we're doing all we can, we're doing it. No, they're not, they never do. Important, of course, to remember that Matt Hancock wrote these memoirs and went on to I'm a Celebrity to paint himself out as the hero. It hasn't worked. Sure, he's made, what was it, £320,000 off the back of it and didn't have to do any of his actual work that we pay him actual money for. But it's difficult to have faith, isn't it, going forward? Continuing on from the leaked messages, but this isn't to do with COVID. At the height of the pandemic, the Education Secretary Gavin Williamson, who was the then Education Secretary, is not anymore, he appeared to accuse teachers of looking for an excuse not to teach during the early stages of the pandemic, and said that teachers really do just hate to work. We're all in this together, except them, of course. It's as I say, there is nothing to suggest that there is a Tory MP who gives a fuck. There really isn't. And this is the final story. As I say, I'm only doing 3 stories today. This is on Kemi Badenoch, who's the Minister for Women and Equalities. She has dismissed suggestions that the government should pilot menopause leave for women, saying that it had been proposed from a left-wing perspective. This was a recommendation made by the Commons Women and Equalities Committee last year. It was so women were not forced to work, were not forced out of work by insensitive and rigid sickness policies. There have been too many examples of exactly that thinking in this government. They seem to dismiss and bring in rules just to fuck with the left. This will annoy the woke. That's how you run a podcast by straight white men with no talent. That is not how you should run a fucking a country, a government. Just putting in things and just doing things to annoy the left isn't the fucking big brain, wonderful galaxy thinking that you think it is. What it is tiny, because they're tiny people. That's enough. Tomorrow will be longer, there'll be more news, and I'll be more upbeat. Well, I won't be more upbeat, but, have a good one.